Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a streaming freedom video bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. For today's Skyrim mod showcase on the PS4, we're going to be taking a look at an Immersive Cheat Mod. Now this is not cheats like you would typically think, something like God Mode, things of that nature. What these are is gives you the player a very immersive way to be able to naturally level up your character, giving you many more options, as well as collect natural resources, and fitting in the game in such a way that it really feels like it should have been a part of it all along. Whether it's training with the wooden dummies that are plentiful in Skyrim that you never had access to but that the NPCs and followers always did, to be able to upgrade, say, your combat skill with a sword or a bow and arrow, for example, or gathering natural resources. Instead of having to chop wood all day, why not just pick up a pile of wood that you see lying around? Or perhaps you want to go mining for gems. Then there's also little nice touches like being able to cook in inns, or if you don't have the money to rent a room, perhaps the innkeeper would allow you to sleep on the floor for the night in one of the bedrolls that they provide. There's just so many things that this Immersive Cheat Mod does, and again, really fits in and feels like it should be a natural part of Skyrim. With that said, let's see how to find this mod. So in order to find this mod, bring up the search function with L1 and then type in Immersive Cheats into the search bar. The mod that you are looking for is right here. The name of it is Get Immersive Cheats Expanded Edition, PS4. It is by the mod author sp0ckrates, and the mod description in part reads, adds cheats to the world's objects to make Skyrim more convenient and fun without feeling like you're cheating. An immersive cheat is something changed or added to the game that makes it easier to play, but in a way that really makes sense. The mod Game Environment Tweaks Immersive Cheats Extended Edition adds hundreds of immersive cheats throughout Skyrim. You can break the tusks off mammoth skulls, use archery targets and combat dummies to increase combat skills, take wood from wood piles, and find alchemy ingredients in wood piles and barrels. There's also a chance to dig up leveled soul gems when you mine for ore. As you can see, there is a lot to go through here, and if I read through all of this, we'd be here all day. So if you're going to download this, definitely read through this in its entirety. Know everything that you are getting into before downloading the mod, because this does change a lot. And also, you should disable the following mods that you see right here if you happen to have any of them if you're using this. And don't worry if you happen to be using one of the cheats from this series that was not listed. For example, I did check Get Immersive Book and Map cheats together with this one, and both mods worked fine together. So there are some from this series that will work with, just the ones that were listed that you would need to disable if you happen to have any of. Which is again why I highly recommend that you read through this mod description in its entirety before downloading and installing this mod, because there's just so many changes. There are changes to the forges, to your torch, for example. There are changes adding things like smithing chests in the game. There are keys to the player homes before you even own them. There'll be smelters in places that there would not have been before, alchemy tables. So you could have a mod or several mods that could conflict with something that is added by this one. So this is definitely one of the times that, even though there is a lot to read through here, you definitely want to, so that you know everything that you're getting into. That way you don't have any issues. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll this the rest of the way down just so you can kind of get an idea how long this is. But let's see, I think at the bottom also it lists, yeah, these are some of the other in this series that you can get for immersive cheats in the game. But in any case, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the reasons that I downloaded this mod to help level up my character. So one of the things that I really like that this mod has to offer is what we'll be taking a look here in Solitude with these practice dummies. So these dummies will allow us to be able to level our skills up, just like the crazy person with the sword over there is doing. So let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and equip, I guess I'll equip this first since it's here first, and we'll try out these targets over here. They conveniently left us an area to be able to use. And I don't use this very often, and I always do that. Anyway, let's see if this works. I don't know if it's just the dummies or if it is this too. Okay, it didn't seem to do nothing. Okay, maybe it's not that. Let's try it on one of the dummies instead. It might just be them. See if I can hit it. Ah, okay, yeah. So the dummies here, as you can see, will level up your skills. So, for example, my archery right now. And so, this is something that I really like that this mod changes, because I mean, you see the NPCs and your followers using these to practice, but as the player, they're completely useless to you, but you see them all around in the game. Now I'm going to go ahead and try building up my sword skills. Oh, also something I want to point out to you for those that were worried about it leveling up as fast as it is. That's not this mod. I have a mod that multiplies the amount of like experience that I'm getting on these, you know, like one-handed destruction magic and all that, because I set my character's skills to legendary so that I could showcase this, but I don't want to have to spend all day grinding all this up. So don't worry about that. You will level up just normal as you would in the game, unless you happen to be using one of those mods also. In any case though, this is definitely a great and convenient way to be able to level up your skills without having to constantly search for enemies. Also, interesting thing to note is you'll notice that while I was attacking the dummy, it actually registered as an enemy on my compass. So that's something that's fascinating. Also fascinating that the other mod that I'm using to do this is still causing this to go up even though I've stopped attacking. This could take a while. I'll be back with you guys in a bit. So the mod description also stated that you could access piles of wood, and yeah, as you can see, we're able to take the firewood inside, so that way you don't have to chop it, because you see firewood around all over the place. Now you'll notice that it doesn't actually disappear, of course, but it acts more like, say, a treasure chest or something. Now, this one even has a butterfly in it, landed there, so that's neat. Again, nice little touches of immersion. Besides, Lydia's always taking the firewood, so why can't I? Another feature of this mod Lydia found for us over there, and that is that each of these places now has a secret entrance that you can take. This one's for Solitude is located right here, that you can unlock and get in to avoid the guards. Oh, I done fucked up. Okay. Well, apparently if you have Solitude heavily modded like I do, I have the Great City of Solitude, I just trapped myself inside of the mod. It's a good thing I have this. I'll just blink my way out. So, a word of warning, if you have the Great City of Solitude, don't use that exit, or, well, it's not an entrance to you, but yeah, in any case, yeah, it puts you inside the rocks. So, if you happen to have this mod right here, you might want to think twice, unless you happen to have the blink spell like I do. Otherwise, you could be between a rock and a hard place. Now look, Lydia, I know I told you to take care of the dragon before you ruin the showcase. I mean, they're always trying to do it, but still, don't you think you got a little carried away? I mean, fun is fun, but shoving him head first through the wall like that, I think that might have been a little bit of overkill. You know, there's only so much that I can keep explaining to the Jarl. I guess on the bright side, he won't be trying that again. Now, in any case, friends, we're here currently at Whiterun so that I could show you something that I was trying to show you at Solitude, now that all the excitement has died down. And that is this right here. So each of the cities like Solitude and Whiterun, so on and so forth, have these secret areas that you can now access to gain access to the city if you want to bypass the main gate. And Whiterun's is located right here. And so this is where you will be able to gain access to the city without using the main gate. You can get back out the same way. But that would be perfect for somebody that'd be like role-playing as a member of the Thieves Guild, or perhaps you're just somebody that needs to avoid the guards. And one of the reasons you might need to avoid them is located right over here. So this is War Maidens, and if you make your way over this way, you'll find something else that the mod has added in. You can find at each of the blacksmith areas, and that is these chests right here. One of the chests belongs to you, and the other one belongs to characters like, say, the blacksmith. Now these chests are already unlocked for me because, truth be told, I was already in here. I just decided not to film that come back in because I wanted to make certain I would not crash because of that dragon outside. But for you, these chests like this one, which is for you the Thane, will be locked, and like you'll need the Breeze Home key for this one, for example, to unlock it, and all these items are yours to be able to take. The other chests, though, will be locked, and you'll either have to use a lockpick or, like I did, the Ring of Unlocking if you do want to gain access. But of course, be aware, some of the items in them are marked as steel because they are not your chest, only the middle one is. So while I was looking around, I also discovered that, of course, we do have a smelter here that we've always had, but as the mod description stated, the smelters have also been added into either some convenient places or places that they had never been. And a convenient place that it is located here is now up at the Skyforge, so that you don't have to run all the way back down to War Maidens if you want to use it while you're working up at the Skyforge. For a minute there, I thought I was going to crash. In any case, if you head up this way now, I actually have an overabundance of smelters here now because I already had one from a previous mod, and I think this might be the one that was already here. I don't come up here very often. In any case, I think the one that the mod added is up there. Also, I'm not certain that this chest had been here before or not. There are items that marked as still, but I don't know if that's a part of this showcased mod. Kind of wonder because the dummy is going through it, so it kind of makes me think it might have been added after, but I'm not sure. In any case, I think the smelter that the mod adds in is this one located right here, but it is one of these two, so one of these will be there for you also if you are using this mod. Another feature of this mod that could be of interest to those of you playing the Thieves Guild questline is if you come over here and examine this mark, apparently the shadow marks are located all around Skyrim. I don't know, I've never played that questline, but if I examine it, I get this message where it says that I need a book. But if you're in the Thieves Guild, and assuming you've done that part of the quest, then it will actually tell you what the shadow mark means. I'm guessing before you also needed a book to look it up. So this is a good quality of life improvement because this saves you from constantly having to get into your inventory every time you access one of these marks. Well, this took me a lot longer than I would have liked to. So I am currently located right here, if I could get it to come up, the autosave's stopping it. Right here, right in between Lorraeus Farm as well as Halted Steam Camp. There's a Mammoth Graveyard right here, a little bit off from Hearth Hall. Or at least I'm assuming that it would be here for you as well, unless one of my other mods added it in, like Ancient Lands, for example. I do think these are probably vanilla, though. But I wanted to show you this. Like with the wood piles, if you come to a mammoth skull and hit search on it, you'll notice that it acts like a container, and we can actually take the mammoth tusk. Now, just like the wood piles, when they did not disappear after taking the wood, the same goes for the mammoth. The tusk won't actually disappear. That's not in the vanilla version of the game, and no external assets or scripts are allowed, of course, by Sony's rules. But still, this is absolutely fantastic, because again, this gives you a way to be able, when you come across mammoth skulls like this, to be able to get the tusks for either crafting or to sell them, because the amount that you can get is actually doubled with this mod, so they're worth even more. Now, I do assume they have to be vanilla skulls. I tried to do this at a modded skull that was added at Whiterun up near the Skyforge, and it didn't work. But I think it probably should on any vanilla mammoth skull. So we are currently here at Windhelm, which for newer players you can find located right here on the map. And the reason that we are here is because I want to gain access to Candlehearth Hall and an item that has been added here by the mod.
We've got warm food, warm drinks,
so according to the mod description, if we head upstairs, we can go over to the candle that is located right here, and it will actually give us a new item called the Eternal Flame. So I'll go ahead and press X on this. And as you see, it did remove my torch, and it says Eternal Flame added, so I'm assuming that's probably in my miscellaneous category. Also, quickly, I should state that what you're seeing here, this interface overhaul, is from a separate mod, not the mod that is being showcased. I should have stated that sooner. This, however, is, for the mod being showcased, the Eternal Flame. And what this does is, apparently not emit any light, at least in here. But what this does is, this is a torch that will never go out. This is perfect for those of you that prefer to use a torch to light dark areas instead of a spell. Also perfect that the innkeeper isn't around and notice I have a lit torch inside their giant wooden structure. So we are here at Riften, which is located right here on the map, and the reason that I came here was so that I could gain access to this forge, as this is one of 2 forges that the mod changes and adds a special ability to, the Scorched Hammer Forge, that once you have completed the quest that upgrades this forge, you can actually create fire enchantment weapons here. So, just like this right here, allows us to do this without having to use an enchanter, which is absolutely perfect. This really does go within the lore of the game, and if I go ahead and equip this, you should see, when I find it, that it, gives a fire enchant on the weapon, all without me ever having to use a enchanter to do so. So that makes this forge all the more special and that much more of a reward for completing that particular part of the quest. So we are currently at what is going to be our final stop in today's mod showcase. We are outside of the Frozen Hearth. This is an inn located in Winterhold, and just one of the many inns and taverns that have had some much needed immersion and convenience added to them that you'll see as we head on inside.
On in. We got warm food, warm drinks.
So the first thing that you'll notice is that a cooking pot has been added over here by the fireplace, and you do have full access to this. As long as you have the ingredients, you can cook whatever it is that you would want to cook. And this is nice for areas that wouldn't have this feature normally if you do need to cook something for whatever reason and didn't have the food in your inventory. Sometimes you will see the NPCs over here interacting with it. Your followers might, even if they're using the MFS AI. And located over here is the other convenient thing that's been added, a small alchemy lab. Each of the inns and taverns will have them too. I don't know if they'll all be in the same place, but another thing that the inns will have, and I'm assuming the taverns as well, is located over here. If you can't afford a room for rent, now you can find a bedroll has been added that you can actually sleep on, as long as an NPC isn't over here using it. But you can go ahead and get a little bit of rest without having to purchase a room. I even got the Lover's Comfort bonus perk from having Lydia with me, so it works the same as if you were sleeping in a room. Overall, I'd say it adds in some very nice additions and convenience to the various inns and taverns of Skyrim. And so that brings us to the end of today's mod showcase. Please keep in mind that while I tried to showcase a lot of what the mod has to offer, I know I have missed and forgotten some stuff from reading the description to actually being in here. Plus I'll also be cutting stuff for time, and also some stuff that I felt like while I was shooting it probably isn't going to be worth including in the video. But in any case, if you're interested in it, definitely again read through the mod description in its entirety. It's definitely a lengthy one, but there's a lot there to cover. Make certain that you don't have any issues with the mods that you currently have in your load order. But this is definitely a really nice mod that feels like it was either always a part of Skyrim or always should have been. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Take care. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.